business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast.
Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. Every episode is an invitation, a reminder that business and life isn't just about profit, it's about purpose. It's about showing up with a servant's heart in every deal, every decision, every day to make a powerful impact on others. What's a servant's heart? My guest is going to tell you what that is today. She's built a massive company with that servant's heart, amongst other things, but the servant heart was her passion. And she's also going to light you up. She's going to motivate you. She's going to challenge you. But I think most importantly, you're going to walk away with tools that inspire action, both in your life and the lives of others. Hey, before we dive in, you got your homework today, audience. It's the same one every show. How are you going to serve yourself and others today? That key word is today. It doesn't have to be a big impact. Even a small act of kindness or courage can change the game for anyone. So lean in, take notes. Let's discover how servant leadership in business and life can create ripple effects that last far beyond the bottom line. Quick shout out to my sponsor, Epic Impact, the only universal emotionally resonant messaging framework that works anywhere for any audience. This 4-step system transformed how I pitch, how I social media post, and how I use my podcast. And my guest today is going to get a benefit from it, and you can as well. Engage, persuade, inspire, and close with clarity. And I use it daily, and it works. Now grab your free trial today at epicimpact.ai with promo code Steve and start inspiring action today. And a quick shout out, we hit top 20 in the world in small business marketing. Thank you, audience, and my great guests like today. You're out there impacting lives with these podcasts, and that's the whole goal. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, Karen, welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Capital, connection capital. Love that word. Tell us what that means, or words.
Connection capital. Well, it's really just the act of connecting the human with really the value of what we bring to the table, right? So our value is that capital, and then connecting each other is what I love to do. So I love humans, I love people, and I love to connect them with their value. So whether that be me connecting with you, Steve, today, or whether that is me connecting with the people that we're talking to today, I love to see that value connected for the greater good.
Yeah, you said greater good a couple of times, and that should be our goal. The world needs that today. We won't get into that. That's a whole different black hole.
Yeah.
What's the wrong way to do connection capital?
What's the wrong way? I'm sorry.
What's the wrong way to build that connection capital?
I would say, I don't know. I don't know if there is for me, I don't know if there is a wrong way. I've never really thought about it that way. I don't know. The wrong way would be to pull the all the same people in the room and have them, I think the value of connection capital is pulling diverse groups together that have differences. And that's a very interesting question. Thank you for asking it. It's very thought-provoking. To me, the diversity of connection capital is what makes it beautiful and what makes it work. And grabbing people that have differences is really why connection capital is valuable. So, you, Steve, have value because you have different skill sets than what I have. And if we can sit at a table across from each other and recognize through conversation, just general conversation about what you do and what I do, and we can recognize those values and how we complement each other, then we now have a connection capital. We now recognize how we can help each other for the greater good. And that, to me, is awesome. And so now we can network and we can share that across the next connection. So then next time you meet someone and you go, hey, I know someone who can do that, who can help you. And then I can say, I know Steve because he can help you do this. And then now we're doing something for the greater good. We've created a connection capital.
Beautiful. I mean, I love what you're saying. And what I get at, because I get asked this question, we're so aligned. And I just say, don't pitch. Don't jump on Karen and go, hey, buy this, because if you don't have it, you're missing out. We're going to go. You get it. That's the That's my answer, is just build the value. You've said value so many times. I love it. So, Karen, I'm very interested to ask you this question, but looking at it all morning, there's business leaders out there and there's great ones.
Yeah.
But I think transformational leaders are the next level. Talk about that. You are a transformational leader. What inspired you to do that?
Oh gosh. Inspiration. My inspiration to be a transformational leader goes all the way back to my first mentor. And I love this story because he was so instrumental for me. I grew up really without parents, and I say this with all sincerity. My father passed away when I was very young, and then my mother she had to move away. Well, she moved away when we were young to work. And she lived in the same town, but she just didn't come home. She lived in a dormitory where she worked. So me and my three brothers, we raised each other. And so, so, so it was tough. Times were tough, right? You didn't really believe in yourself when you raise yourself. It's just hard and you're in survival mode. And I digress on that story. But anyway, so when I went to work, I went in the military, which was awesome. And I built a lot of confidence in the military, but I still had just a lot of lack of confidence in myself. I was voted least likely to succeed in high school. And so I was still building my confidence. And, I just didn't have anybody that really believed in you. And when you grow up without parents who want to see your grade card or want to push you along or, show up at your games and things like that, you tend to have a sense of, I don't know, you miss that sense of belonging or that sense of push or drive. And so I met this guy at my first job named Jeff Kite, who believed in me. And he believed in me so much that um, he taught me everything about leadership that I needed to know at that stage. And he would sit down with me. He taught me how to do my bills. He taught me how to walk, meaning how to dress as a supervisor, how to talk as a supervisor, how to act as a supervisor. And sometimes in a not even a nice way, but I took it because I needed to hear it. And I appreciated that so much. And one particular story, and I'm sorry if this is taking longer than expected,
It's
but
okay.
one particular story was on Christmas, and I talk about this in my TED Talk, but on Christmas Eve, I was closing up the shop for him, and I I was telling him how difficult it was for me because I couldn't afford presents for my children. And he said, they're young, Karen, it's okay. And I said, well, it matters to me. But anyway, so I walked around the shop, I closed it up, I came back to my desk, and my desk was filled with presents, all wrapped up for my kids. And I remember just crying about it. And there was a note that said, "This comes from a group of people who believe in you. Keep going." And that note changed my life forever because it reminded me that just one person who believes in you can change everything. And I changed everything. It changed everything for me. So I committed to myself that every person that I met that was like me would get the same level of support from me. And I've never changed that. So that was my inspiration. He was my
That's a
inspiration.
what a transformational story journey. Oh my gosh! And thank you for your service. A matter of fact, I want to thank you for that. But faith is part of this too. If you didn't have faith all these years and then met your mentor, how important was it for your life?
Um, well, faith came into my life. I mean, I would say that I always tell people that I felt like I didn't grow up with parents who took me to church. I certainly didn't. I had faith. I just didn't know I had faith. It was more like hope. And I met someone else who also is in my story. These are instrumental people in my story. And her name was Sweetheart, and she sat down with me one day and said, "Do you know Jesus?" And I always say, I felt like I was walking parallel to Jesus. I always knew he was there, but I didn't have my faith until she sat down with me and said, "Do you know Jesus?" And I met and I walked right into church one day, and I knew right then that was where I belonged. And I was an adult at that time. And it was an amazing journey for me from that point on. But I always had hope and faith has been such an instrumental part of my life. Yes.
Wow, you've two stories rare that they blow me away like that. Wow. It's audience. Hope you're listening because this is powerful. So mental health is a problem. And you dealt with it when you were young, telling us your story. I mean, I don't have parents. How do I figure it out? You finally met your mentor. So how do you help people command their lives? Because I think that's what's missing. It's like depression, and because they don't have control, they don't have self-awareness, they don't have command. How do you help with that?
I think it is definitely more prevalent now today than it ever has been. And I think, um, there's, to me, there's always hope. And I think from that perspective, we have to reach out. Uh, we have to continually communicate and reach out and let people know that we're there for them. This is the biggest problem I think that we have is that we're allowing people, and I say this, people will do what they want to do, but we are not communicating. People they're socially inept in their computers and their phones and their social media, and it's a great place to hide. And so if we don't reach out to our friends, if we don't reach out, so we have a so we have a compass. This compass says, I need to reach out to my friends. And I'm going to give you a great example of this. My pastor, many years ago, um, we're always taught lessons, right? And this lesson, I'm gonna give you another great story. This is awesome. It's sad, but it's awesome. I got this inclination that I needed to call my pastor. And it was such a yearning. I picked up the phone and I called him. And we had this great talk, and he was telling me about how his wife was traveling and he was doing something at home and he was working. And that night he had a heart attack and he passed away.
Oh,
And that moment, he was my favorite pastor in the world. He was like, I loved him so much. He was my first pastor, and he just really I had such a heart for him. The sadness of that was that he passed away, but the goodness of that was I remember always that when I get that yearning, there's a reason for it. Never do I let that yearning pass. When I feel like I need to pick up the phone and call someone, I do it right then because I know there's a reason for it. We need to consistently pick up the phone and call our friends. We need to talk to people. If someone looks sad, if someone looks displaced, if someone's sitting at a table by themselves, it's okay to just say, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" If you walk by someone and they're crying, please stop and say something. My story where my friend Sweetheart said, "Do you know Jesus?" was that very moment for me and her because I was crying. She didn't know me. She stopped and said, "Do you know Jesus?" That was life-changing for me. So we all have those moments. I think we could really do life-changing things for people if we just talk instead of text.
amen. Oh my God. People look at me, oh, you're 64 old school, but it doesn't change. Talking, well, COVID taught us that being
Yeah,
isolated just doesn't work. And it's what you're saying so well, Karen, is we can't do that. And the phone's isolates, the computers, they're in need here, but it shouldn't be. I just went to a restaurant a couple of weeks ago and the whole family's on their phones. Two kids and, I'm like,
right.
holy mackerel. And that's exactly what you're saying.
Yes, please put them down. Let's
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, yes. Just have Karen, just do it. Yeah. She's Nike here. Just do it. Just do it.
Yes.
Purpose is so important in transformation. I try to do, if you don't have that my purpose led to my transformation. Talk about that, but you talk about purpose-driven action, not just
Yes.
saying, hey, my purpose is doing business with a servant's heart, is doing podcasts and other things. Talk about how you work that.
Um, Purpose. Yeah, I think purpose is probably the most important thing. When I first started out, my purpose was certainly I wanted to give a better life to my children. I really that was really, really important to me, especially with the way that I grew up. When I had children, I was very serious about that. I really wanted my children to have a better life. And then as I got more inspiration, my leadership was really about, this is awesome. I can inspire more people with this, with what was inspired to me. And leadership was really not about the title. I recognized that the title gave me the ability to uh, impact more people. I could inspire more. So if I was a lead or a supervisor or a manager or a director or a COO, then I could inspire more people. And that's what I would do. And so that's what leadership became for me. So the purpose-driven life was absolutely about that for me. It was never about power. It was about inspiring. And so now when I left that life of being working for someone and working for myself, I was, how far can I take that inspiration? What can I do? And my goal every day is really my purpose and goal is to inspire at least one person every day. And it doesn't matter how I do it. If I hug someone and that inspires them, if I speak the truth into someone and that inspires them, if I'm able to guide someone and that inspires them, then I want to do that. And so that is my stage. That is what I want to do. That is absolutely my heart. I call it heart work, not hard work, because it absolutely it gives me blessings right back. I love it. It makes me happy, and that is my purpose. So
Heart work. I love that. I'm gonna
yes,
write that down because audience, hope you're writing it down because it's fun. I agree with you. You jump
yes,
on a call and you help somebody and you're like, oh my God, what a great call. I just got an email this morning from somebody. You're so aligned with me. You're perfect guest for this podcast. But you showed you're an expert in this transformational leadership. What's a piece of advice? I have a lot of under 40-year-olds. I don't know if they're Gen Zs, Gen Ps, Gen
yeah.
Bs. I don't follow all that, but under 40, what would you tell them right now if they were in front of you?
Um, I would say, again, for me, it's a balance between the heart work and the hard work, right? And I learned this a long, long time ago that giving is really a huge part of receiving. I love to give more than I love to receive. It's just how I am. And I remember someone that I worked with years ago that said, you once you give, you get it back tenfold. And that is so true. And I didn't know it at the time, but when I started that journey of giving, he was right. And my advice to anyone is take a path of hard work and do the hard work, but do the hard work too. And you'll find all the blessings, more blessings. You'll have more work than you can do. Network, 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 network. Build value in your relationships. Find the value in people. And yes, there's technology out there. Yes, yes, yes. AI is awesome, but people are way more awesome.
Oh,
and,
oh yeah.
and learn that through
Yeah.
your relationships and talk to people. Please talk to people and learn the value. And then together, learn the technology.
Well, you came up with a new tagline because there's this that I use all the time. Your network's your net worth, and it's true. Especially if
Yeah.
you're a quality network, it grows you. We're coming up with a new one. Write this down. We're going to Karen credit. Your network is your heart work.
Yeah.
I love that. We're going to share that with the world. Your network. Just got to write this down. So, what's your future, Karen? You had a credible story in in your past, your background.
Yeah.
What does Karen's future look like?
I'm gonna keep going. I'm not over yet. I'm gonna keep doing this. I am in the process of writing a book. I'd like to get my story out there. I want to do some more TED Talks. I want to inspire people on stage. I want to get my message out there. I'm going to continue to consult. I'm also a health and life coach. So if anybody's interested in that, I love to inspire. If I could do it for free every day, I do the hard work every day for nothing. Absolutely, I would do it. But the hard work comes with the hard work, and it's a balance. I learn that every day as I say yes, yes, yes. I can't say yes to everything, but I say yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
And I love it. I love my life and happy to be blessed to do it.
Well, and I'm glad you said that too, because a servant heart, a servant leader will say no.
Yeah.
There's absolutely time to do it. It's not working either way, or they're just a bad apple, whatever it may be. You can't enable people just to say yes, yeah. Because I used to do that and help people for a year. I'm helping somebody. It's like, you're not listening to me. Can you imagine coaching somebody and they're like, they don't listen to anything Karen said, and they're like, Karen, it's
Uh,
not working.
no.
You got to
Yeah,
say no sometimes, and it's beautiful.
I agree. The art of saying
Yeah,
no is
yeah.
definitely something. Something,
It is.
yes.
It is an art. So that's well said. So,
Yeah.
artists, don't forget, your network is your heart work.
Yes.
Focus on that. It's part of your purpose. Borrow me and Karen's purpose and run with it. Let's end with a fun question. I like to get to know my guests a little bit more. So I've got a reservation at a restaurant, table of 4. You're going to sit in one of the chairs. So you've got 3 empty chairs. Who are you going to invite, whether they're dead or alive, to just converse with, get to know, mentor you? But the most important question is, what food would you order for the table?
Who go on the table? Oh my gosh, I'm so not good at this. I could tell you about the food, but I'm so not good at this. Okay. I do like the idea of Tony Robbins being at the table. Don't ask me why, but I want to get on stage and Tony is my guy. So
Yeah.
I like him. And I'd really love to have a conversation with Jesus. So I like him at the table too. I don't know why, but I just really love to have a conversation with Jesus. I want to know what's up with all this stuff going on. So does that cover my chairs or do I have one
One
more?
more chair. Who pops in your head? One more chair.
One more chair would be my father.
Oh, amen. What a table.
Yes,
Your
I know.
father, Jesus, Tony
Tony,
Robbins. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
being Tony Robinson at the table with Jesus and my dad.
2 great orators with your wonderful dad. What's your dad's name? What was your dad's?
His name is Orville Eugene, but they called him Popeye. So.
Popeye. You did a wonderful job with this daughter. She is magnificent. I got to thank you. You really are a blessing. You come from that servant heart. So thank you for taking the time, being a guest, and sharing your stories with us. It means a lot. I know people listening are going, I got to connect with Karen. So how can they reach you?
Well, you can go to my website. It's NYAKconsulting.com, and that NYAK is NYAK, which stands for Not Your Average Karen Consulting. Or you can reach me on any of the platforms. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, Karen Holliday, or you can email me at nyakconsulting@outlook.com.
Beautiful. Super simple. That's what a servant heart does. Makes it simple for us. Thanks again, Karen, so much. Audience, here's your homework at the end. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah, I love subscribers with thousands of them, but it's more important that these podcasts are gifts, value. What did she talk about in the beginning? Value. Well, you're listening to this, and I've got a couple of people I'm going to share it with, and you go, my friend could use some of Karen, and listen to Karen. They take action or not, but you've given them a gift. That's one of the ways you can serve. And I think any party doesn't have to be this podcast. Any other podcast, you resonate with it, share it out as gifts. Go, hey, I heard Tony, I heard this guy, I heard this guy. Game changer for changing people's lives and transforming them, as Karen teaches people to do, be transformational. With that being said, me and Karen want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast, and we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.